I have his ID in my hand like this, and I turn and I look because my supervisor said something, and he reached out and snatches his ID. I'm like, whoa, hey, hold on, man. He's like, what? It's my ID, isn't it? And turns and walks all the way out.
Deputy Kelly, I was just coming to talk to you about that incident with your ID.
Okay. I had gave it to my brother right here.
On the 15th of March, 2024, Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputies responded to Mitchell International Airport after a man presented a fraudulent ID to TSA agents and fled the checkpoint. What began as an identity check became a federal criminal investigation. Question 1. The stop. Under Terry v. Ohio, decided in 1968, officers may briefly detain a person when specific, articulable facts give rise to a reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The TSA agent's first-hand account of a fake ID and the subject's immediate flight satisfied that threshold with room to spare. Question 2. Probable cause to arrest. Under Illinois v. Gates, decided in 1983, probable cause is evaluated under the totality of the circumstances. 4 facts converged: the fake TSA ID, the flight from the checkpoint, the misspelled alias Nichols Payne, and a Tennessee license claimed when a Wisconsin ID was expected. Each fact alone might be explained. Together, they form an unmistakable pattern. Question 3. The federal layer. Presenting a fraudulent ID at an airport security checkpoint triggers 49 United States Code Section 46503, federal interference with airport security screening. This is independent of and in addition to Wisconsin state identity fraud charges. Question 4. False names to deputies. The subject gave 2 false names, Nicholas Payne, then Martin Woods. Under Wisconsin Statute Section 946.72, each false name given to a law enforcement officer is a separately chargeable offense. The misspelling of Nicholas as Nichols was a self-defeating error that flagged the alias immediately. Question 5. The backpack search. Under United States v. Robinson, decided in 1973, a lawful custodial arrest authorizes a full search of the person and any items immediately associated, including bags without a separate warrant. Deputies found more than 150 fraudulent checks, totaling over $240,000, and a stolen debit card. Question 6. Miranda. Volunteered false names in the field before formal interrogation are admissible without Miranda warnings under Miranda v. Arizona, 1966. Once transported to the airport substation, however, any substantive questioning about the checks or the fraud scheme required Miranda advisement before deputies could lawfully proceed.
Camera. And the ID is totally bogus. Every square inch of this thing is pixelated under the camera. So I'm like, this is fake. So I call my boss up. He happens to be off the checkpoint at the time. So the guy starts getting a little antsy, and he's like, hey, I got to go to the bathroom real bad. Where's the bathroom? I'm like, well, there's one on this side. We'll get you in, whatever. He goes, no, man, I got to go right now. I'm like, well, it's over there. I can't, hold him. So he walks over there. While he's in the bathroom, my boss comes up. He goes over to the bathroom, finds the guy and brings him back. Yeah. He then calls, the CC and everything like that. And the guy's like, yeah, my flight's leaving, man. It's 5:40. I'm just going to rebook. And I'm like, oh, they can do that for you down at the gate, man. We're just going to get this thing, squared away, whatever. I have his ID in my hand like this, and I turn and I look because my supervisor said something, and he reached out and snatches his ID. I'm like, whoa, hey, hold on, man. He's like, what? It's my ID, isn't it? And turns and walks all the way out in the parking lot.
Okay.
And so my supervisor kind of followed in that way. I called over the radio saying, well, he said he was going to rebook. So I think he went downstairs, my boss did, to ticketing to check with them. The guy certainly did not. He walked straight out into the parking.
Do you know what he looks like?
He was a fairly tall black male, about your height. Kind of like mini dreads, where they're about that tall.
Yeah. Thinner build or bigger build?
He's bigger. He's bigger. Like a light-colored jeans he's wearing real low with gray boxers.
Okay.
And he's got a green camouflage backpack with orange piping.
So black male, about 6 feet.
Was he wearing a coat or a t-shirt or?
That I don't remember.
Did he have any jewelry or stuff like that?
Not that I saw.
Right. Any teeth grill or stuff like that? Or?
I thought he had some facial hair, but nothing teeth-wise that I recognized.
Okay.
Dreads.
If you want, I'm
black
gonna
male,
go search
6
real quick,
foot.
okay? Hi, folks. Quick question for y'all. Did you happen to see a African-American male about my height, maybe about my build, maybe a little bit thinner, he had a All right. He had a green green backpack with some orange like tubing. Did he happen to walk this way?
I just got here a few minutes ago.
Okay.
And did not see anyone like that here or elsewhere.
Okay.
I was downstairs in the ticketing area
Yeah.
before I came up here. I did not see anyone like that there
Okay.
either.
And you guys have been staying here for about 5-10 minutes?
Oh, not even 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.
Deputy Kelly, I was just coming to talk to you about that incident with your ID. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with that.
Okay. I had gave it to my brother right here.
Here, you can say something for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Your brother's here. You can sit down. I'm 410 Airtel. Do you have you gave your brother your ID?
Yeah.
Alright. Where's your brother at?
He
Alright, you don't have to go for any of this.
Okay,
What is your last name? You can sit down.
Okay.
Alright, I've said multiple times. Just stay seated.
Yes, hello.
Alright, what's your last name, man?
My last name is Payne.
What?
Payne.
P-A-Y-N-E?
Yo.
Alright, first name?
Nicholas.
N-I-C-H-O-L-S
O-L-S.
or
Yep.
just S?
Yep. S.
O-L-S.
Yep.
Alright. So we're gonna bring you back there, just get all your information, make sure it's correct. We'll carry this stuff for you.
No, that ain't mine right there. This is one here.
Alright, you face that way. Just put these on
What is I'm getting the time for?
just to see, make sure your ID and everything lines up. So face that way for me.
I'm about to see my mama. No, can I see my girl? My mama?
We'll let you use your phone after all this. Yeah. Do this first. Alright. Yes, sir.
I call my mama number.
Alright.
I don't know what it is. Hey.
What do you guys gonna grab this?
What
What do you guys have? Squad?
No, that ain't my bag right there. That's my bag right there.
That one's it? That one's yours?
This black one right here, I was seeing.
That's not your bag?
This is your brother?
No, that's my cousin. This is mine.
You give him your ID?
No, I gave my brother my ID.
No.
I'm saying, like, what is I'm being?
We're just because you snagged an ID at a federal checkpoint. Yeah. So we're just gonna confirm who you are. And
I
then...
don't see how I'm getting it.
So what happened? What was the issue with the ID?
I'm trying to. I told him I was late for my flight, so I gotta write this here. I can't even. I'm getting tired. I can't even be on my phone.
You will eventually. We'll go this way. The elevator's open.
I don't understand.
Go for 410.
That's not my bag right there.
Why were you carrying it then? You were at TSA.
He said out of Tennessee.
That's my brother bag. I told you that. He said it right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had it when you were at TSA.
No, I ain't have that bag.
You never had that bag? Because that looks a lot to me like you having that bag.
Then I told you I hold it for my brother.
So why do you give your ID to your brother?
You said what I
Like
give.
why do you give the ID to your brother?
You said why I give it? Cause he asked for it.
He asked you for
Yep.
your ID?
Yep.
For what?
Yup.
Like for what reason?
He said he about to go to TSA and see why they wouldn't let me check in. He can hold my bag real quick. Yeah.
Gotcha. So we're gonna have you sit right here, man.
Can I take out the clothes?
Do you want me to pull those up?
No.
I can't. I'm not gonna run over.
Oh, well, of course it's take the record, but
I'm right here. Here, I'm gonna put your phone up here for you. So what was that guy was who to you? The one that we saw in there?
You say who?
The guy that we saw in there when we were walking out. What is he to you?
That's my cousin. I told you that.
so you went. Is that ID that he presented his?
He said he gave it to his brother, and his brother left with it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna search you real quick, man.
I don't. What is my probable cause of getting searched?
You're in custody, sir, and to be honest, you're going to go to jail for misappropriation of ID and interfering with screening procedures. You can't present false IDs.
So I'm gonna have you stand up, face this way. Like I said, dude, it's easier if you just tell us your name. Then, you know what I mean? You can avoid it here. Face that way more.
My name is Martel Williams.
Alright, that's your real name?
Yeah.
Alright. So what was the ID name?
You say what?
You
was
don't,
the
like,
ID?
am I gonna find the ID? What,
Yeah.
what is on you?
Yeah.
Where is it?
In my pocket.
In your pocket right here?
Yeah.
Just leave that for now. Wanna go?
Hey, can one of you guys take down his actual name and bring it to us?
Callie?
Yeah.
Stand by.
Deputies A-. Reasonable suspicion, probable cause, and the search were all executed correctly. Terry satisfied. Gates' totality met. Robinson search lawful. The slight deduction. Informal charge announcement in the public terminal. Before formal documentation was complete is a procedural gap. Minor in outcome here, but worth noting. Subject DeMarte D. Every decision compounded his exposure. The fake ID created federal liability. The flight converted an administrative hold into a criminal investigation. The false names added state obstruction charges. And the flight guaranteed the backpack would be searched the moment he was arrested. The single most incriminating act he could have made. 3 lessons. 1. Flight does not erase evidence, it accelerates its discovery. 2. Each false name given to an officer is independently chargeable. Under Wisconsin Statute Section 946.72. 3. Under Wisconsin Statute Section 943.38, check forgery over $100,000 triggers Class C felony exposure, up to 40 years. The $240,000 in fraudulent checks placed DeMarte squarely in that range.
Search him and add.
Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out our channel for even more police interaction and courtroom content.
Can one of you guys take down his actual name and bring it to us?
Callie?
Yeah.
Stand by.